Welcome back, YouTube and fellow berserkers. Today I'm going to show you how to make charcloth using cotton cloth and a tin can. Charcloth like this is what I use to ignite my flint and steel fire here at the Viking camp, and I'm going to show you how to make this in this form or manner. You can also make it without a tin can, which is more historical. You could take, actually you'll need linen cloth if you want to do it 100% historically, and that would be taking a stick and wrapping the linen cloth and actually charring it in the fire directly. But we're gonna, for efficiency purposes, use cotton cloth and a tin can. So this is how I'm going to make my fire. I'm going to start the fire that I need to make the charred cloth using my Flint-Steel, and I'm going to show you how to do that in just a second. To start the fire, you're going to need a carbon steel flint striker like this one that I forged. It's one of my classics. It has a small piece missing. It fell on the ground. That's why you want to always be careful not to drop your striker onto a hard surface. Since it's hardened, it can break very easily. We're going to need a sharp piece of flint to strike sparks off of. And for this purpose, we're going to use charred cloth. This is actually what we're going to be using right here. A piece of charred cotton cloth. That'll catch the spark and start to burn very slowly, and we're going to then put it in our dry bird's nest that we've created here out of some dry grass that I've collected. And in the center you see a piece of, I have a piece of, let me see if I can pull it out for you, a piece of tree sap, so we can get this really burning. Once this is burning, this will burn for a good long time, so I can get my fire started. Now I have some old odds and ends made out of wood in the fireplace there. I'm going to have to burn them up so that I can use the fireplace again. I've had cleaning up around the camp today, and I've had some stuff that just had to get cut up and disposed of, and there's this corner over here I'm still working on today. I may or may not get to it. So that's what it's the plan. So you're going to need charred cloth, and you're going to take it, put it on your flint. You're going to look for a sharp corner. I'm going to attempt this corner right here. I'm going to use it right there. So I put my charred cloth on top of my piece of flint, and there's a corner right here that it's a pretty sharp corner. And I'm going to try to strike a spark off of the flint into this charred cloth and get it to burn. So that's going to be the next step. You strike a spark and you watch and see. Sometimes I've had it a couple of times while I'm doing it on camera. I wasn't able to actually see the spark until it almost it landed there, and if the cloth was burning in daylight, you can't see it. It was burning my finger, so I had to take a second look. We've got some wild animals running through the forest up there. They just made a bunch of noise. Yeah, there it is. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, okay. So now we have our embers. It was kind of difficult because the flint, where I was striking, it was starting to dull down. So we put it in the grass right here. Put it right in there, and then we fold it up. Kind of put it in there. Now we have to blow on it. The method I like to use. This is a very popular method. It doesn't have to be a Christmas tin. Right in the center, just about. Now this is some cotton. It's an old rag that I had laying around here for this purpose for a while now. We're just going to look for the tag to make sure it's 100% cotton. Right there, 100% cotton. I don't know if you can see it. It's really hard to focus the camera while you got ashes flying in your face. Well, I can't focus that. Okay, anyway. So we're going to cut this rag up into small pieces and place it inside this tin. I like to leave bigger pieces because it tends to get very brittle after you're done, and then when you char it, you can just pull it apart very, very simply. Like I said, they don't have to be too small. You can put pieces in there like that. Once they're charred, you can just very carefully take of the hole in the tin is to allow gases and pressure to escape through here. If you put the hole too big, the content of the can will actually start to catch fire and will completely burn up your cotton cloth. And you won't have any charred cloth, you'll have ashes, which are useless in this case. We're gonna place the lid on top, nice and firmly, all the way around. Like I said, you don't have to use a cookie tin. You can also make charred cloth in an Altoids can. You cut the pieces the size of the Altoids can, you poke a small 2 or 3 millimeter hole in the top, and it works the same way. I just like to make large quantities of it, so I'll use a cookie jar. Works great for me. If I push the ends in a little bit, make it a little tighter fit. Alright. Alright, YouTube, I'm going to let that be in there for maybe another 30 minutes or so. Alright, so what we've done is we put this can with the hole in the lid in the fire for about, I'd say it was about 30 minutes or a little over 30 minutes. And we let it burn down until it was basically just coals. And now we're going to open it up after letting it cool for a minute so I don't burn my hands here. I'm going to open it up and see inside if we have charred cloth or if we have ashes. So let's take a look. Taking the lid. Oh wow, gross. There we go. And we have charred cloth. Get closer so you can see this. The glare on the camera is quite terrible today. I am probably standing in a very terrible spot. But I'm going to hold this up. And you can see clearly it has turned black. And I can tear pieces off real easily. Yeah. So I have a nice big clump of charred cloth now. I'm going to clean out my can and I'm going to set this out just a minute in the air to cool. Put this in my supply pouch and I'll have plenty of charred cloth now to start fires. This will last me a long time. Now a small piece is all you need to start the fire, like I demonstrated earlier. So that's it, YouTube. We got some charred cloth right here. Awesome. And it's best when it's fresh. So if you get charred cloth and you make it, like right now would be the time to put it in a plastic bag and get all the air out of it because it is hygroscopic. It absorbs moisture. And once it's absorbed moisture, it will not catch a spark very well. Stay safe and see you soon.